The demolition crew had been tearing down the burned remains of Riverside Dance Academy for 2 days when the excavator struck something beneath the stage floor. It was October 3rd, 2024, and when foreman Jake Mitchell climbed into the debris, he found what the fire hadn't consumed. A human skeleton, still wearing the remnants of a pink leotard and ballet slippers. Within hours, DNA would confirm what the small town of Milbrook, New York had feared for 16 long years. They'd finally found Rebecca Torres, the beloved ballet instructor who vanished after her evening class on September 8, 2008. Her pointe shoes had been left on stage. Her bag lay in the dressing room as if she had simply stepped away. But the truth was far more sinister. She'd been murdered and hidden beneath the very stage where she had taught hundreds of children to dance. And the killer had been watching the search efforts quietly from the front row. The quiet, awkward son of the studio owner. Jake Mitchell, 48, was a demolition contractor with decades of experience. Born and raised in Milbrook, he had known Riverside Dance Academy since childhood. His sister had taken ballet lessons there. Following a fire in July 2024 that had devastated the building, Mitchell had been hired to demolish what remained. The fire, caused by an electrical short circuit, had destroyed most of the structure, and the insurance company ruled the building beyond repair. On the morning of October 3rd, Mitchell and his crew began dismantling the stage area. The wooden platform, once home to countless performances, now appeared fragile and charred. As the excavator lifted a set of floorboards, a metallic clink echoed through the debris. "Stop," Mitchell yelled, "there's something there." The crew began clearing the rubble by hand. Beneath the stage lay a space that should have been empty, but it was. Mitchell shone his flashlight into the cavity. First, he saw pink fabric burned but still recognizable, then something white, fragile, and finally the horrifying realization: a human skeleton dressed in dance clothes had been hidden beneath the stage. His hands trembled as he pulled out his phone and called 911. "I found a body at the Riverside Dance Academy demolition site under the stage. Come immediately." The Milbrook Police Department arrived within 20 minutes. Detective Amanda Chen, 39, with 15 years of experience, would lead the investigation. Chen had grown up in Milbrook and remembered the Rebecca Torres case vividly. The town had been wounded by that disappearance. Everyone had hoped she would be found alive. Forensic teams meticulously excavated beneath the stage. When the skeleton was fully exposed, Chen examined the details. Female, young, early 20s. Pink leotard and ballet slippers, a distinct crack on the right side of the skull, blunt force trauma. 16 years, Chen whispered. She was here for 16 years and no one looked. Beside the skeleton lay a small silver bracelet engraved with the letter R, Rebecca. A DNA sample was taken and sent to the lab. By the next day, results confirmed the unthinkable. Maria Torres, Rebecca's mother, had provided reference DNA. The match was perfect. Beneath the stage lay Rebecca Torres. Chen reopened the 2008 case files. Detective Robert Flynn, now retired at 72, had led the original investigation. When Chen called him, his voice carried the weight of regret. "Rebecca Torres, the biggest failure of my career," Flynn said. "We looked everywhere: forests, lakes, abandoned buildings, but we never thought to look under the stage. Who would have thought?" "Did you question the studio owner, Patricia Webb?" "Yes," Flynn replied. "She was devastated. Rebecca was her best instructor. Her son Marcus was there too, quiet, did maintenance work. Both were completely cooperative. Nothing seemed amiss." Marcus Webb, Patricia's 26-year-old son, had been largely invisible, working in maintenance, cleaning, handling lights, and the sound system. But Chen now knew the truth. Rebecca Marie Torres was born in New York on May 15, 1985. She had grown up in Milbrook, started ballet young, and quickly demonstrated remarkable talent. Her grace, discipline, and passion had turned heads throughout high school. Accepted into Juilliard, she had not gone due to financial constraints. "I can teach here," Rebecca had said. "I can give back to this town." In 2005, at age 20, Rebecca began teaching at Riverside Dance Academy. Patricia Webb had hired her immediately. Within 3 years, Rebecca became the studio's star instructor, teaching ballet, modern dance, jazz, and a special Saturday evening class called Dance and Dream, where children expressed themselves through movement. Parents would wait months to enroll their children. By early 2008, Rebecca was 23. She had a boyfriend, David Kim, the town's veterinarian. They had been together 2 years, planning a future together. Rebecca was happy, but someone was watching. Marcus Webb had loved her for 3 years from afar, silently. He watched her classes from the wings, listened to her music, inhaled her perfume, never daring to approach. She was beautiful, vibrant, everything Marcus was not, and for 3 years he quietly suffered unseen. September 8, 2008 was supposed to be like any other Monday night at Riverside Dance Academy. The dance and dream class had ended promptly at 9:00 p.m. with 10 eager children leaving the studio in the care of their waiting parents. The air was filled with the faint scent of rosin, the echo of little feet, and the faint hum of a piano in the corner. The studio had gone quiet, as it always did when the last child departed. Rebecca Torres, 23, graceful and radiant even after a long day of teaching, was sweeping the stage. She hummed a soft melody, the rhythm of her brush keeping time with the music that still played faintly in her mind. She didn't notice the shadows lurking near the sound room, the nervous energy that seemed to radiate from one corner of the studio. Marcus Webb, 26, Patricia Webb's son, had been gathering his courage all day. He had rehearsed every word, imagined every scenario. Tonight he would finally speak. At 9:15 p.m., Marcus emerged from the shadows, his hands trembling, his face flushed with anticipation and fear. "Rebecca," he called out. Startled, Rebecca looked up. "Oh, Marcus, you're still here. I didn't see you. I want to talk to you." Her voice was soft, kind, unaware of the danger she was about to face. Marcus's chest heaved. "Rebecca, I love you. I've loved you for 3 years. I want to be with you. Please give me a chance." Rebecca froze, shock and discomfort etched across her face. "Marcus, I wasn't expecting this. I know you're a good person, but I have a boyfriend, David. I see you as my friend, as my mother's son, that's all." Marcus's expression faltered, the color drained from his face, replaced by a hard bitterness. "But I love you," he whispered, voice trembling. "I've waited 3 years. I watched you, dreamed of you, and you reject me." Rebecca's heart pounded. Something in his eyes had shifted, anger, pain, and something darker. Fear rippled through her. "Marcus, please calm down. Maybe we can talk tomorrow." "No," Marcus shouted, stepping closer. "Tonight, now, I can't wait any longer." Panic surged through Rebecca as she headed for the dressing room, intent on leaving the studio. "Marcus, let me go," she cried, trying to keep her voice steady. But Marcus was faster. He grabbed her arm. Rebecca stumbled, hitting the stage floor. The wood was unforgiving, and a sharp pain radiated through her head. Her vision blurred. She tried to rise, but panic gripped Marcus. In a moment of blind fear and frustration, he saw the heavy metal music stand in the corner. Without thinking, he grabbed it. The sound of metal striking bone was sharp and final. Rebecca fell to the ground, lifeless. Her eyes remained open, staring at the ceiling she had loved so dearly. Marcus trembled, horror washing over him. No, 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 what have I done? His mind raced. Should he call his mother, the police? His life would be over, prison, disgrace, everything he feared. He made a choice that would haunt him for 16 years. Beneath the stage was a storage space for old sound equipment, a cramped, hidden area few ever noticed. Marcus realized it could conceal her. For 2 hours, trembling and sweating, he lifted the floorboards and carefully placed Rebecca's body beneath the stage. He polished the boards back into place, wiped the stage clean, and returned the stand to its corner. He left her bag in the dressing room and her pointe shoes atop the stage, creating the illusion that she had merely stepped away. By the time Marcus left the studio, it was nearing midnight. He locked the doors behind him, each click echoing like a death knell. The next morning, David Kim, Rebecca's boyfriend, called the police when she didn't return home. Officers scoured the studio and surrounding areas. They examined the stage, the dressing room, her car in the parking lot, but they didn't look under the stage. Who would suspect it? Marcus Webb was questioned. He cried openly, appearing shocked and devastated. "She was my friend," he said. "Who would do this?" Detective Robert Flynn, investigating at the time, believed him. Marcus was quiet, unassuming, the perfect image of harmlessness. No one suspected him. Weeks turned to months. The family hired private investigators. The reward fund climbed to $50,000, yet there was no trace of Rebecca Torres. Patricia Webb kept the studio open, telling herself that this is what Rebecca would have wanted. Marcus continued his quiet routine, walking over his victim's grave daily without ever knowing it. Each September 8th, the town would gather at Riverside Dance Academy for a memorial service. Candles would be lit on the stage where Rebecca had once taught. Maria Torres, Rebecca's mother, always came. Marcus attended too, looking somber, respectful. "I miss her," he would whisper. "She was special." Maria would hug him gently. "Thank you, Marcus. It means so much that you remember her too." For 16 years, this rhythm continued. Marcus inherited the studio when his mother, Patricia, passed away in 2020. Heart attack. He became the owner, stepping onto the stage daily, hearing instructors, and knowing exactly where Rebecca was hidden beneath the boards. Then came July 2024, An electrical short circuit ignited a fire in the studio at 3:00 a.m. Marcus wasn't home. The fire department responded quickly, but the blaze ravaged the upper floors. Almost everything was destroyed. Panic overtook Marcus. Would the fire reveal Rebecca's secret? His heart raced. He breathed a tentative sigh of relief when he realized that the stage area, where Rebecca had been hidden, was largely intact. The upper floors had burned, but the hidden space beneath the stage had protected the secret for 16 years. However, Marcus's relief was short-lived. The insurance company determined the building could not be restored and insisted it be demolished. Marcus had no say in the matter. October 3, 2024, the demolition began. And when Jake Mitchell's crew struck the hidden cavity beneath the stage, Rebecca Torres' remains were finally uncovered. Detective Amanda Chen sprang into action, working with genetic genealogy expert Dr. Sarah Kim. DNA from Rebecca's bones was analyzed for trace evidence, likely skin cells from the killer during the attack. Dr. Kim uploaded the results to public genealogy databases. 3 weeks later, a match appeared, a second cousin. Over 6 weeks, the family tree was painstakingly built, leading directly to the unthinkable, Marcus David Webb. Chen was not shocked. Marcus, quiet, awkward, always in the shadows, he had been invisible for 16 years. By November 15, 2024, a court order was obtained. Chen arrived at Marcus's home, 42 now, hair thinning, face pale. She knocked. Marcus opened the door. "Marcus Webb, you are under arrest in connection with the murder of Rebecca Torres." Marcus paused, then his shoulders slumped, as if a 16-year burden had finally lifted. "Finally," he whispered, "it's finally over." At the station, Marcus requested an attorney, but ultimately chose to confess. 16 years, he said to Chen. "Every night I see her in my dreams. Every day I step onto that stage and know she's there. I can't carry it anymore." His confession was detailed and raw. He admitted the emotional outburst, the panic, the accidental killing, and the deliberate concealment of the body for 16 years. "I was scared," he admitted. "I couldn't think. I lied. I attended memorial services. I told the family I missed her, and she was lying beneath me. I am a monster." Chen asked gently, "Are you remorseful?" "Every second," Marcus whispered, "every day. I've been living in hell for 16 years, but Rebecca, her hell didn't end. She died, and I caused that." The revelation shook Milbrook. The quiet, unassuming son of the dance studio had been a killer. For 16 years, the town had trusted him. Maria Torres, Rebecca's mother, issued a tearful statement. "I lost my daughter 16 years ago. Every year I knelt on that stage and prayed for her, and she was lying beneath that stage. This betrayal, this cruelty, words cannot capture it." David Kim, Rebecca's former boyfriend, wrote online, "Rebecca was my first love. I was going to marry her. Marcus took her from me, from her family, from life. For 16 years he watched us grieve, inhuman." By March 2025, the town of Milbrook was bracing itself for a trial that had been 16 years in the making. Marcus Webb, the quiet, awkward son of the Riverside Dance Academy owner, now 42, faced charges of first-degree murder and concealment of a body. For years, the town had trusted him. He had attended memorials, helped manage the studio, and appeared harmless. But the truth had shattered that trust. The courthouse buzzed with tension on the first day of the trial. Reporters crowded the halls, their cameras flashing. Family members of Rebecca Torres sat in the front row, faces tense but composed. Maria Torres clutched a small photograph of her daughter, taken just months before her disappearance. David Kim sat beside her, shoulders hunched, eyes red from endless nights of remembering and mourning. Prosecutor Jennifer Walsh began with a statement designed to leave no doubt. "This is not just a case about a sudden act of anger," she said. "This is a case about deliberate concealment, 16 years of lies, 16 years of walking over a victim while attending her memorials. Marcus Webb made a conscious choice to hide his crime. This was not impulsive. This was calculated, cruel, and ongoing." The defense attorney, Jonathan Fields, attempted to counter. "There was no premeditation," he argued. "Marcus acted in a moment of rage. He panicked. He did not intend to kill Rebecca Torres." Walsh turned sharply, eyes flashing. "Panicked. For 16 years, he hid her body under the stage. He allowed her family to grieve. He maintained the studio. He attended memorial services. He kept living his life while Rebecca was hidden beneath him. This was not panic. This was deception. This was evil." The prosecution presented evidence that had haunted the town. Photographs of the studio, the remnants of the fire, the DNA analysis connecting Marcus Webb to the crime, and forensic reconstructions of the night Rebecca was murdered. Every detail of the scene was meticulously laid out. Witnesses included Detective Amanda Chen, who testified about the discovery of the skeleton beneath the stage. Her voice was steady, but each word carried the weight of 16 years of waiting for justice. The body was placed with care, deliberately hidden. Marcus Webb knew exactly what he was doing. The stage was his camouflage, the studio his deception. Forensic expert Dr. Sarah Kim explained the genetic genealogy process. Traced DNA from the victim's bones matched Marcus Webb's relatives. The family tree led directly to him. This was not chance. The science confirmed the suspect beyond a reasonable doubt. As the trial continued, details of the fateful night in 2008 were recounted in painstaking detail. Marcus's confession was read aloud, chilling in its honesty. He had admitted to following Rebecca to the struggle and to the fatal strike with the music stand. He had described hiding her body, returning her belongings to make it appear she had left, and the years he spent walking over her grave. The courtroom was silent as the narrative unfolded. Each word felt like a weight pressing on everyone present. Marcus Webb had lived among the grieving, unrecognized, invisible, yet responsible for the greatest betrayal the town could imagine. When the defense called Marcus to the stand, he spoke quietly, almost whispering, his eyes downcast. "I didn't plan it. I loved her. I got angry and I made the worst mistake of my life. For 16 years I've lived with it. Every day, every night I see her. I step onto that stage and I know she's there. I can't undo it. I can't fix it." Walsh pressed on, her voice calm but unrelenting. "You attended memorials. You comforted her mother. You smiled. You acted as if you were a friend. 16 years. Did you feel any guilt?" Marcus's voice broke, every second, every single day. "But the guilt, it didn't bring her back. I lied. I was a coward, a monster." The jury deliberated for 5 days. Outside, Milbrook waited with bated breath. Residents speculated, argued, and reflected on the shocking revelations. The town that had mourned silently for 16 years now watched as justice prepared to weigh in. Finally, the verdict was delivered. The courtroom was packed, tension electric. The foreperson stood. "We, the jury, find the defendant, Marcus David Webb, guilty of first-degree murder and concealment of a body." A collective gasp swept through the courtroom. Maria Torres' hand flew to her mouth. David Kim's head bowed, the air leaving his lungs in a long, trembling sigh. Outside, townspeople exchanged glances that were a mixture of relief, grief, and disbelief. The sentencing hearing followed. Judge Eleanor Harding, a stern but fair magistrate, addressed Marcus Webb directly. Maria Torres rose first to speak. Her voice was steady, strong, yet heavy with emotion. "My daughter, Rebecca Torres, was 23 years old. She loved dance, children, life. Marcus Webb took her from all of us because he could not accept rejection. For 16 years, he walked over her body every day, every step an insult, every smile a lie. This man must serve his sentence so that no other mother suffers this pain." Marcus, now 42, stood, his face pale, eyes hollow. The judge announced the sentence, life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Marcus could get out at earliest at 67. He nodded, voice trembling. "I deserve it. Rebecca didn't deserve it. I deserve it." Outside, Riverside Dance Academy had been sold and demolished. In its place, a small park was built. At the center stood a bronze statue of a dancing woman, graceful and poised, capturing the essence of Rebecca Torres. Engraved below were the words, "Rebecca Torres, 1985-2008, taught dance, celebrated life, never forgotten." Every September, the town gathered there. Dancers performed the movements Rebecca had taught, children twirling, stretching, and leaping just as she would have guided them. Maria Torres sat in the front row, smiling through tears. She watched the performances, feeling a connection to her daughter's spirit, a bittersweet healing. Detective Amanda Chen reflected on the case after it closed. "This case taught us something crucial. Killers aren't always in dark alleys. Sometimes they're right beside us, quietly for years, unnoticed. Marcus Webb was invisible, and yet DNA doesn't lie. Science gave Rebecca the justice she deserved, even if it was 16 years too late." Maria Torres gave one final interview, her voice steady but soft. "I can't get my daughter back, but now I know where she is. Now she can rest in peace. Marcus can no longer run. Justice has come late, but it has come." The park became a place of remembrance and celebration. Children learned dance in programs inspired by Rebecca's teachings. Her spirit, her passion, her love of movement lived on in every twirl, every pirouette, every leap. And on quiet Saturday evenings, when the wind whispered through the trees, some residents said they could hear music, the faint echo of Rebecca's piano, the soft rhythm of her steps, a reminder that although tragedy had taken her life, her legacy endured. In Milbrook, the town continued to heal. Families found solace in memory and justice. The park remained a symbol of resilience, of a life cherished and a darkness finally brought to light. As the final curtain fell on the tragic story of Rebecca Torres, one truth became clear. Even in the face of cruelty, even when justice is delayed, it can still arrive. And while Marcus Webb would spend the remainder of his days in prison, Rebecca's memory would forever inspire hope, courage, and the dance of life that she had loved so dearly. If this story moved you, please subscribe and hit the like button. Every subscription helps us continue investigating cold cases that families are still waiting to solve. Drop a comment telling us where you're watching from and which unsolved case you'd like us to cover next.